this
Yes.
dog called Pullman.
Yes.
It goes right back to the 1920s. Go right back to the 1920s.
Yes, 1920s
and I
trains.
mean, it was worth it.
Yes.
And the bandits, when it was, they didn't know what to do with, so they just abandoned them.
Yes, the trains.
Or all the coaches, the units and all that.
Yes.
And then might knock it up, do what they like with it, And then it could be used as a mill, drug running, you name it. But he said they didn't realise how much historical in it, so he managed to get some pictures quick and then scarper.
Yes.
But what a risk! And it's a place where I was told it doesn't. It's not safe to go on. It's somewhere between the French and Spanish border, right up on the top side, this side.
Yes.
But he said never again. He said not bloody likely. He said when you're a bit young, you do some daft things. He said when you get older, you keep out of the way.
Yes, you want to be safe. If you have enough money in the bank, be careful. It's quite hot. Yes.
Yeah, but
yes, it's hot.
I'm saying this.
Yes.
That was a bloody risk. That was.
Yes.
He survived. He's getting on a bit now, but he said, "By Sir God," and the other one was the most laughable. He was going up there, and they were cleaning up this old station.
Yes.
And right up on the top.
Yes.
He's always laughing at me today. I mean, he lives in Teddington, and sometimes he still survives. He's getting on a bit now. But when I was younger, they were doing something to this station.
Yes.
So, anyway, so...
Yes.
Go on.
Carry on. Oh, it's too... This night was too hardcore. Yes.
And anyway, so he said about one thing and another, and he said, I need that bit up on that station. I don't know what they were doing. So he said, well, I can offer a price. So he offered the price and hoping he would go up, the pole or whatever it is, to get it.
Yes.
He said, all right, he said, but I'll give you one thing. If you can get up there, I'll let you have it.
The pole.
And it was hanging off the end of this roof.
Yes.
And he always laughs to this day. He said, all right, I'll go up and get it.
And you were at the
pole. And anyway, he went up there, and these two boys were doing some cleaning up.
Yes.
He said, not bloody likely. I'm not going up there. I don't even know whether I can get up there. Anyway, he got up there and he said he balanced or something and he got it down.
Yes.
And the bloke said, I'll give him his due. He said, go on, take it. He said, because he said it was none of us could get up there to get it.
The ball.
In other words, it was so tricky that one slip and he could have broke his leg.
Yes.
Or more. Anyway, so into this day, he lives in Teddington. He said, I've still got it in my room today. But he said, how I got up there, he said, I should never know to this day how I managed it. So you can tell how tricky it was.
Yes.
So in the end, he didn't bother about the price because it was so bloody hard to get to. And he said, it's in my collection now.
Yes, but what it was in the end of the pole? What it was at the end of the pole?
I suppose it was a sign or something. It belonged to the railway type of thing.
Yes.
But what it means is nobody could get up there to get it off.
Get it. Yes, all right.
And he didn't have only much on a temporary old ladder. Yes. So he thought, well, I got a chance. In other words, either I'd break my arm or break my leg trying to get it.
Okay.
And, he got it. And he said to this day, he's in his 70s, 80s now.
Yes.
And he said, after all those years, he said, I've still got it, a pride and place. He said, well, I don't know how I managed it. I ever got it. We would have a laugh over it today, over that. But in railway point of view, it's worth quite a bit.
Yes.
But how you got up to get it, it's just like something, and he put his hand out and it's very high.
Yes.
And he didn't even know he was going to get there himself.
Yes.
So in the end, he didn't worry about the price because it was so bloody difficult to get there in the first place.
Yes. But he was strong just to go up the bar totally. So he was
And to this day,
yes.
he still has wondered how he earth got there.
Yes. Well, it's strong man, strong.
But how he got there, how he managed to get it in the first place.
Well, strong arms and strong legs just to go to the top all day working.
I know, but he said, if I got up there now, I'd probably break my leg before I even got there.
Well, yes, you're older. Yes.
It's a thing you do in your life, and you think, shall I do it? And you don't know whether you can do it.
Yes.
And then you give up because you think, I'm not touching that.
True. Oh.
And it was worth quite a bit. It was
True.
probably cast something original.
Yes.
It would be worth something's money to do it.
Yes.
But how he said it stuck out like this.
Yes.
And then he put his hand out and managed to get hold of it. And none of them thought anybody would get up there to get it.
Yes.
It needed something to get it from a helicopter or something to
Yes.
go down there. But he climbed up there to get it.
Yes. All right.
Comical, isn't it?
Yes,
And
indeed.
he always have a laugh to this day. He'd never do it now, but how daft can you get sometimes?
Yes.
I usually sometimes run into him because he lives in the Teddington itself. Right? And he's got a collection in there he keeps, and sometimes we run into him when we're down there. But he said that thing, he said, haunted me for the rest of my life. He said, how on earth did I get up there to get it?
True.
I think he did show it to us one year.
So you saw it. It was something like
But it was really hanging on from the sign. How he managed to get it to the sign off, they knew it was going to fall off someday.
Yes.
Because they could see it. But to get up there...
So you saw it with your own eyes that he went to the top to see it.
But I just said they didn't thought he'll get up there.
Yes, true. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. The fin. If it's hot.
What a laugh, isn't it?
That's quite hot. Yes, indeed.
But somebody wanted to find out something in Barcelona, Sue,
Yes.
where the old shed would have been.
Aye.
And the station's been altered so much.
Yes.
And everything else that unless you're with you, that you wouldn't know where to find it. And these days, it's so altered. And of course, you can't say anything because you don't know the Spanish.
Yes.
And you get hard to put it down to there. But
Anyways, I don't know.
But anyway, it's a book on all the Pullmans somewhere along the line. But a lot of them, I was told, are out of print. And that's why it's difficult to get hold of them.
The Pullman
the
trains.
books and all that.
Yes.
Ian Allen, I think they do that online.
Well, perhaps now YouTube is too difficult to find things like that and books.
And
It's difficult.
and what you have to do, you find it online or something, and then you work it off of that. But sometimes they reprint again.
Oh.
But it was so something. The only thing that I did get hold of is a bit annoying, but I did manage to get a copy of it of George Bernard. But the trouble is, it's not in picture. It's not in pictures. But I've got the book with all the names.
Yes.
But in the other book, of course, they did show pictures.
Of the trains.
What went round, and I managed to get that through an auction. It's useful, and anyway. And when he was coming, he said, "Don't bother about the books." He came over to see they were brought up in Red Hill.
Yes.
So he came over to see the cremation thing plot and tidy up things. And Anyway, but so on the way, he said, "I'll come and see you."
Okay.
So he brought the bits of thing up.
The thing who walked from the top.
He brought some books and other things.
Oh yes.
Anyway,
Heavens. Sorry, when I was reparking.
and anyway,
I
so
couldn't see. All right.
he said I'd only come back only a very occasional. So he said, "Be careful because, you know, that's probably the last time I might be able to get up here."
Oh.
But he's 80 now.
Wow. That's big.
And he was the secretary of the club. But this year, of course, they're trying to find a new secretary. I don't know who it would be.
Why you don't be the secretary yourself?
Anyway,
Yes.
he worked on the railway. He was telling me all what bits on. It's very interesting. And anyway, I don't know what's going to happen this year. Whether you'll have to do one more year or did they find somebody else?
True. I'm gonna go for water.
Yeah.
Yeah, this night.
But it was so interesting, really. See, it all goes back
Yes.
to my uncle was on the test run of the Brighton Bell. My uncle was the test driver on the Brighton Bell.
Of the trains from London to Brighton.
Yeah, when they were running. Anyway,
Yes. Eastbound to Brighton.
But since those days,
Yes.
they've restored something, and they've also got one in the corner where they can take people from disabled on the train as well, on wheelchairs.
Oh yes.
And they also got a dome in one place.
Yes.
Where you can sit out the back and see the train, and you can watch out the back.
Yes.
And they've also got that they can run it through in the winter because they've got the heater working.
Yes.
But it's got to go on the trials to see how it's going to run. But they made the seat now, made one place for disabled people that they can wheelchairs go straight on.
Yes.
But it's all based at Eastleigh. In the old days, it was based at Chesterfield.
Chesterfield. Yes.
Yeah, I've still got my invitation up there.
Whoa. Yes. Perhaps we can photograph it and post it on YouTube. Yes. Oh. Heavens.
I know.
Oh. Bones here.
It's all right. I found a bone.
Bones to this bone.
I found a bone.
Here.
All right.
Here. To the middle.
I thought it was going to be clean, but it didn't.
No, hot bones.
Anyway, and anyway, the other one was doing a book. So
Yes.
what I done, and several books came out, and he's still doing a few things. I think there was one on another version, and they were going for around about 32 quid for the book.
For the book. Wow.
Oh, when you see the work in it and the printing, it's not bad.
Yes. No, there's books who cost thousands and thousands of pounds.
Anyway, and most of it is online. This is why it's tricky. There's a booksellers down me that sells all sorts of books. And what I keep forgetting every time I go up to Grandma's, as I call it, to see what books he got on, and if he's got any books on that degree.
Yes.
And spend an afternoon just going through to see if there's anything.
Good.
Most of he's got his novels and other things. He may not got anything like it.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise you got to rely on
Yes.
through the medium. In other words, see if somebody else has got a copy.
Yes. Oh. Here.
Well, that's what I'm checking over.
Yes.
But anyway, but each one is slightly different. That's why I said to you. Anyway, I got somebody who did it on the mobile, and he checked through, and he said there's no pumas in Spain. See, at first.
No what?
He said there's not any real pumas in Spain.
No, in Spain it's forbidden.
Anyway, and he said the only one it could have been is the king of Spain.
Yes.
And we were going down that way, and then somehow something never came up. And we got one. He works on the railway now, but he works on the freight.
The trains you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. And he said I was going to help him out, but I don't know whether the funding run out or what. But they did some good publications at the beginning.
Yes.
And they're very well done. And our society, we keep going.
Yes.
And we got some standards right up.
Yes.
Because we're in connection with the French side of it. And they were going down to Paris again. But of course there's COVID and all the rest of it, and it never came off.
Yeah.
And
true.
I don't know. I don't know seriously whether he'll get down there again. He keeps talking about it, but
yes. Well, down to France.
You know, see if the depot's open in Paris.
Oh.
In other words, you know
yes,
where the restoration is on. And what we did on the day,
yes,
it was quite unique. We went down there and we got to a place, something called St. George. And as we got there, the engine crew took us right into the depot. And it's only open on certain days. And then, of course, that showed us that one part. And the book of tome I got shows you the whole of the metro.
Yes.
On a book of mine. I got maps at home.
Yes.
And it's really historical old maps. And what I did, I got somebody who prints something, and he was, the bloke in the printing place was a bit dodgy because he said, you know, he didn't like printing somebody, he thought it was somebody else's
word,
and it was against copyrights.
No, yes, that's the truth.
So anyway, when he looked at it, he couldn't find anything, and I said, historical reason. So he said, all right, he said.
Yes.
So he done the papers for me and charged me a tenner, and I wasn't worried about that because I can't get pictures that size. So I put it into my book. And I'm still working the bits of what I said. Look, I've got to get the set right. You know,
yes.
It's going to reprinting again in right order.
Okay.
And I've got the maps as it was, and it was something called St. George. And I got some pictures now that a lot of people would never have got. And to get to the other side of Paris, you can't go all the way round it. It goes through a freight yard and across a street.
Okay.
And so they had to get people with flags while the train crosses the road.
Yes.
And that's very rare. And we managed to go all the way around Paris.
Oh, okay.
But you can't do it normally.
No. Well, now it's all by car now.
And it was rare, but I had a chance to go right round Paris, and I've got the maps to prove it.
Yes.
So I got really something historical that I don't think many today would have.
True. That's nice.
And it was all done by the Pullman train, and the metro driver come up, what I wrote. So he pulled back, he came up to the signal, opened the door, what he could, and he took the picture of the stream of the train going along. And then, of course, he shut the door again when that was clear and in signals, and then he moved on.
All right.
So somehow he's got a lovely picture of it going around the metro.
Yes.
Which is rare, so rare that it's very rarely done.
Okay.
But you come into the depot, and part of it now is something else now.
Don't change.
But don't ever believe what you see one side of Paris to the other. This side is perfect. When you get that side, it's like a war where all the graffiti that goes, oh God. And it got so bad
Yes.
One of them was there. He said, I'm going to take a picture and show the wife. Paris isn't all what it's supposed to be.
No, okay. Mm.
And he said, was it worth it? And he said, oh, she won't believe me.
Yes.
But the Notre Dame and the famous church
Yes.
was out of this world. It would look picture. It is. One at night with the light on.
And look at that now.
And it was a beautiful picture. I mean, you couldn't have been the finest in the world, really, to me. But to go and do that,
Yes.
I found the book the other night and I was going through some bits. And I thought, I must get them in the right order.
Yes.
And have it printed and it looks better. And then, because one of the organisers said,
Yes.
you got one or two of the letters a bit wrong. He said that it wants taken out, and he said, and put a standard side letter, and he said, and take that scribble and put it down here as print form.
Oh.
And he said, and then you'll have a lovely copy of forward in full. And he travelled all across America. He knows his thing or two.
All right.
But in my eyes, that was history.
Yes.
You know, in other words, it was rare to even go there.
Yes, and
In other words, it's
one days they were very adventurous just to see all these places.
I mean, what a sight! I mean, and then go into the depot, and you could see all these
Yes.
units all been tidied up, and there was a couple of engines
Yes.
that was in rusty condition, and they were still doing it. Fortnight later, and they was testing each bit, and I thought, come back in about a month's time, I might see some difference.
Yes.
Because it's a massive great thing. It's like trying to sort all the tubes on the wall. You know, which one do you do? So you can only do a bit at a time, get that one right, do
Yes.
that one, bit at a time, do that one. And so you do the section, that section's done.
Yes.
And you might be there next week, you might do that bit and that bit. So about 2 months later, when you've got a bit further, you think, well, I'll test that out now.
Yes.
It's like that. So you're never sure when you're going to run it because you're not sure when all the bits are done. So when you've done all that, there's so many years, and then you've got to service it all over again.
Yes.
What a bloody job, isn't it?
True.
What a job, isn't it? You get it running for, say, 3 years, and then you find you've got to put it back out of service again and have it tested again.
Yes.
So you've got to go back again and test it all again.
Yes. Or the trains.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
You know, to get the valves right, see if there's anything there, up to standard again.
Yes.
Then you've got to get another one to pass, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, God, what a job.
Hardcore. Yes.
Yeah, but that's how all these engines survive. There is some rare engines, but, you know, that hasn't come out from the 1920s, but...
Yes.
But look at the work they give you so many years, and then you've got to start all over again and give it another 10.
Yes. True.
And the money that must have been spent on it,
Yes.
that's before you even got it to run.
True.
Huh?
Yes.
I wonder why it's a never-ending job. Huh?
It's true.
People think, you know, that's what made me wonder when this one